9 days and a couple of mountains to climb, a rough idea, a plane ride, and a few hours drive. My friends, my name is Leonard, and I want to show you what I saw last spring in Japan with my bike. I'm here in search of the best road cycling climbs in Japan, and that has brought me to Shibukawa, a quiet city tucked in between some of the most famous climbs in Japan. The first ride of this trip begins in Naganohara, a small town that is an hour's drive away from Shibukawa. From here, we make our way up to Shibu Pass, and at 2,172 meters, it is the highest point of all the national routes in Japan. The weather was perfect that day, and I was really excited to ride in Japan. I've been in the country quite a few times already, but to experience the countryside with my bike, that's something I've been eager to try. Shrines, mountains, and quiet forest roads. This first encounter was like Ghibli studio coming to life. Rindo, which literally translates to forest roads, is something that's very unique to Japan. A lot of it was built many years ago, and there are better roads for vehicles these days. Living forest roads like this are paradise for cyclists like us. After that quick introduction to the Japanese forest roads, I arrived at the popular onsen town in Kusatsu. From there, the road to Shibu Pass was just a palette of landscape treats to the eye. It has turned from the lush foliage of the forest roads to the iconic barren roads of the highlands. The view of the Japanese Alps on the way up was truly mesmerizing. A general spread of volcanic ash with a strong hint of sulfur in the air reminds you of the might of these mountains. I was at the mercy of these active volcanoes. The remnants of winter were indicative of my impending approach to Shibu Pass. As someone from a tropical country, it was a pretty interesting experience, I would say. And this was why I decided to give the best day to Shibu Pass. The view I got from the ride all the way to the top had been truly spectacular. And yeah, of course, I line up for a memento. Just 800 meters from the landmark point lies the Shibu Tōge hotel. It's quiet since it's the off-season. I had a hot chocolate and rested for a bit. Interesting place, eh? Then it was time to head back down. Another chance to take everything in. I'm not sure if I will get another opportunity again. It was forecasted to be cloudy that day, and unlike Shibu Pass, there are no epic views at the top in these two climbs. This was the day to take on Mount Haruna and Akagi, the two fabled mountains of the Gunma prefecture. It was going to be Mount Haruna first, but a view of Mount Akagi from afar got me really excited. The journey to Mount Haruna meant I had to cycle in the city. However, there were only a few cars that Sunday morning, and that had made the ride very enjoyable. There are many ways to get to the top of Mount Haruna. The recommended route was 28, but I opted for route 126 because I wasn't sure if I could fly a drone near a military base. And after a pretty back-breaking climb, I arrived at the top of Mount Haruna, the first peak that day. I was actually surprised at how established it was. There are all sorts of amenities, attractions and accommodations, and it felt like a local park with a lake in the middle, except that we are 1,500 meters above sea level, atop a dormant volcano. It was an intriguing sight for me. After descending from Mount Haruna using the legendary Initial D Route 33, it was time to fuel up for the next climb of the day. I'm not gonna lie, the combination of the two mountains was the toughest ride on this trip. I was gutted not to be able to capture the downhill footage from Mount Haruna, but the descent using Route 4 from Mount Akagi was said to be the best in Japan. The sun's back out today, and that means we're going to climb some mountains and enjoy some views at the top. The old copper town of Ashio was the starting point of the day, and the plan was to explore the Nikko Highlands. Long tunnels like this one are a risk, but I thought that I could get away with the morning traffic. This was a gamble that paid off because the gradient was on my side. The Irohazaka is one of the highlights of this ride. It's a one-way road with a total of 48 hairpins in the ascent and descent. That's not all the climbing. You can make your way up to a scenic viewpoint at Mount Hangetsu from Lake Chusenji. So here's the deal with this route. The tunnel on the National Route 122 was risk number 1. Risk number 2 was using the old National Route 122. Forest roads are nice, but it's not so nice when you know black bears have been sighted in this area. It's all calculated risk at the end of the day. I used the tunnel in the beginning because I know that black bears are more active in the early morning and there are fewer cars in the same time frame. However, in the afternoon with more traffic in a long tunnel with a slight incline, this might be the better option. To be honest, if I didn't know about the black bears, this was the quietest and most peaceful forest road I've ridden in the 9 days of cycling in Japan. I left the Gunma prefecture and ventured into Nagano, and somewhere in Nagano, I parked my car with all my belongings in it, took the bike out and began the next part of the adventure. Utsukushigahara literally translates to beautiful highland is where I was headed that day. You could feel the pull of the mountains from afar, and it was just another beautiful day to ride in the countryside. Well, nothing in life truly goes according to plan. Plans change, but the goal remains unchanged. After a bit of climbing, I arrived at the Utsukushigahara Open Air Museum. The magic about this route is the Venus skyline, a quiet rolling mountain road that stretches for tens of kilometers, 1,600 meters above sea level. I never really stayed at a place for more than a day after Shibukawa. I followed the mountains and it has led me to this place, a very basic ryokan hidden somewhere in the forest of Nagano. I have a big climb in mind, but taking an easy day for exploration isn't such a bad idea. Before it became a popular tourist destination, Tsumago-Juku was an important town for travelers going to and fro Tokyo and Kyoto during the Edo period. Most of these towns have long gone, but this one stood the test of time. What goes down must come up. Or was it the other way around? It was meant to be an easy day, but still a 600 meters climb back to the ryokan. From there, it was time to move again. From one ryokan to another, it was my last chance to relax a little and take in all the good vibes of the Japanese countryside. The reason why I ventured so deep into the countryside of the Nagano prefecture was this climb. Starting beside the turquoise waters of the Tenryu River, the Shirabiso Pass is one of the more inaccessible climbs we have seen so far. There were barely any cars, and that made cycling in the valley a very blissful experience. Its right turn signals the start of the climb. It was still early and the bottle was pretty full, but I can't say no to natural spring water, or can I? The climb to Shirabiso Pass wasn't exactly easy. I had to work for it. Furthermore, I could feel spring fading away with every passing day here in Japan. Summer's coming. It wasn't before long I arrived at Hotel Amanogawa, built out by good old coin and the vending machine. Thankfully, Shirabiso Pass was just 800 meters down the road. Here, you have the vantage view of the Japanese Alps from the east and west. Completing this climb was a huge closure to this trip. I've been looking forward to it, and it's been a truly memorable experience exploring this lesser known part of Japan. I wanted to explore a little more before heading back to the capital. The last climb of this trip lies east of Yamanashi. Route 411 connects Yamanashi to Tokyo, and along it lies Yanagisawa Pass, the last climb of this trip. Not the prettiest, not the tallest, but if I'm lucky, I get to see Mount Fuji on the way up or down. Technically, I'm in the midst of base training and I've planned a couple of intervals on the way up. And that's 3 sets of 10-minute thresholds intervals done. No traffic lights, minimal traffic, and I won't run out of road. I wish there was a mountain like this in Singapore. I took the same route back down, hopeful to catch a glimpse of Mount Fuji. Unfortunately, it just wasn't my day. While it was obvious that the conditions just weren't optimal for Mount Fuji to appear, I managed to convince myself to try again at another spot. It was just an excuse to ride a little more. It was just me trying to delay the end of this trip. Well, it was worth the try. And with that, it was time to say goodbye. It's been an eye-opening 9 days here in Japan. There's so much more to explore here. I can feel it. I know I'll be back. Thanks for tuning in. I hope I've been able to properly convey what I've experienced here in Japan, and I hope you have taken something away from this video. It's been a pleasure and I'll see you soon. Ride safe, y'all.